Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. Today I want to talk about why you will never get your ex back unless you learn to do one thing. And I'm going to talk about what that one thing is. Now, if you've been listening to me for a while, or maybe if you haven't, you've probably heard of no contact. And no, this is not another video about no contact, believe it or not. But no contact in some form is necessary in order to have the best chance to get your ex back. However, most people find it very difficult, if not impossible, to do no contact. So I'm going to explain why it's so difficult. We have to blame biology for that, and the solution. So we're going to have a little biology lesson, boys and girls, so listen up. It takes less than a second for something to trigger an emotional reaction. And this could be in response to the fact that you haven't heard from your ex and you start freaking out, a memory that you have and you miss them. Maybe they posted something on social media and you think, oh my God, they're moving on. So this impairs our ability to think clearly when we have this emotional reaction. Brain researcher Joseph Ledoux calls this, quote, the hostile takeover of consciousness by emotion, end quote. So why is it that our rational thinking goes down? Well, according to author Dawson Church in his book Mind to Matter, stress can result in more than 70% of the blood flow from the frontal lobes, so that would be the logical part of the brain, going to other parts of the body. And so since blood carries oxygen, now the brain isn't getting enough oxygen. It isn't getting the oxygen it needs. So can you function on less oxygen than you need? No, you can't fully function on less oxygen than you need, and neither can the brain. Since our bodies are built for survival, when we're stressed, our body assumes that we are in physical danger. And so since when you're in physical danger, you don't need to be solving math problems at that moment. You need to run. Therefore, you don't need that logical part of your brain. And therefore, your primitive survival response is triggered. And the blood flows out of the brain into the muscles. So logic is no longer available to you at that moment. That's why you can listen to all the videos you want about how to get an ex back and no contact. But at that moment, when you're stressed and the blood flows out and you react, it's impossible to think logically. In his book Mind to Matter, Dawson Church gives the example of a computer full of data, and when it's plugged in, obviously you have access to the data. So when you have the blood flow, you have access to the data. But when it's unplugged, so when the blood flows out of you, you do not have access to the data. Even though it's still there, you don't have access to it. So everything you've heard about not breaking no contact goes out the window. So you're probably thinking, oh no, we're screwed. What are we going to do? Don't worry, there's always a solution. So the solution to this is obviously to be less reactive, have less stress, and there are several things you can do. Working out always takes away stress and releases endorphins, which make you feel good. But the best thing is meditation. There's that M word again. Yes, meditation, which I recommend to all my coaching clients, because everyone I've talked to, pretty much, I always hear the phrase, but I'm afraid, but I'm afraid. So it's that fear that makes people break no contact and reach out, which is not going to get you the result you want. And so to lower that fear, to get rid of that stress, meditation. It has so many benefits, but one of the main benefits, besides, by the way, anti-aging, is the fact that you're less stressed and you can think more clearly, you're less reactive. You may get triggered, you still will get triggered, but you won't be as quick to react because you learn to be calm and be mindful of your actions. I always recommend the app Headspace. especially if you're a beginner, because there are even 1-minute meditations. I know a lot of people are resistant to it, so you can just start with 1 minute. You can do it. It's only 60 seconds, okay? And so you do 1 minute, and then you like it and go, okay, next time I'll do 2 minutes. And slowly, you'll see that you will want to do it, even though you were resistant at first. So I can't emphasize enough the fact that you have to meditate if you want to control your thinking, which is then going to determine how you behave. If you can control your reactions when you get triggered, you will be less likely to break no contact, which means you will be more likely to get your ex back. So if you would like private coaching with me to better understand how this all works, or to help you to maintain no contact, you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube and you like this, then please like it. And remember to subscribe. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.